Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday night, and I'm here, and you're there. Blimey, wait a minute. It's the last day of April, which means it's May tomorrow. Where did April go? Where does the time go? How is everyone? There's only me at the moment, because I just jumped on. Because I'm spontaneous. I'm like that. You never know where I'm going to crop up. You never know when I'm going to appear. It's like I'm a bit like God. I move in mysterious ways. I stream in mysterious ways, indeed. And Andrew's jumped in. He says I'm back from my travels. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Andrew. How old are you? Was it 82 now? Yeah? Is that how old it is? I imagine you're old. Everyone's old who watches this rubbish. There's no young folk, not anymore. I scared them all off with my forthright views. Anyway, I hope you had a good time. I hope you've had a good birthday, and I hope you had a good travel. I hope you didn't get up to any mischief. Who knows, maybe you did. We'll never know. Don't tell me, I don't want to know. So yeah, here we are again. Andrew's in. This is 21 again. Alright, okay. What, is that in dog years? Is it? Dog years, yeah? So yeah. What shall we do? There are 3 people in and 2 likes. That's how I like it. That's exactly how I like it. I'm using the cinematic lens. I've been using that for the last couple of days. It's more cinematic. It doesn't go wide though. It only goes close up. So, but it's more cinematic, and you can. Let's see if I can go really close. I can go that. That's about the limit of it. Is the see if I do it like that, I can get bokeh. I can get the bokeh. Oh, there you go. Andrew says I saw Arthur Brown live at Colchester. Did he sing the song? Did he see the song? Did he sing fire? Do 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 fire? Do do do? Because he always does that one. Focusing ring on this is that? Yeah, because he always does the song, doesn't he? Surprised he's still going, but there you go. Never gives up. Never gives up. Talk about never giving up. Oh, wait a minute. He says yes, he did. Of course he fucking did. Of course he fucking did. You know, it's the only song anybody knows, isn't it? Nobody knows anything else he's done. Imagine if he didn't do it. Everyone would be upset. They'd ask for their money back. So, what should we talk about? What should we talk about? Oh, wait a minute. We've got a bit of dog. Oh, she's run off. Son of a gun. Oh, you just saw her tail disappear out the door. Oh, can we get her? There she's just gone down the passage. We have dog cam in the distance there. I call this dog in the light from the kitchen. There you go. Isn't it? Isn't it? It's almost like art, isn't it? It's art. And he saw another band called Valhalla. Blimey, did you have to die to see them? Anyway, I am going to talk about something. I've decided I'm going to talk about something. So, if I'm clever, I'll clip this and make this its own video. So I'm going to do the thing where I pretend it's a video. Well, who could believe it, folks? Davy Boy Gilmore has got a new song out. Yeah, he's actually got a new album coming out as well. The album is called Strange and Luck. It's released on the 6th of September 2024, which just happens to be Roger Waters' birthday. Who'd have thought it, eh? Who'd have thought it? Yeah, so we were treated to the what have I done? We were treated to the first song from this new album. It's his first thing he's recorded since Rattle That Lock 9 years ago. Was that 2015? Yeah, that's about right. And it's called The Piper's Call. God, I can't. How am I expected to remember all this stuff? I can't remember. I think it's called that. Yeah, the Piper's cool. I see. I'm getting good at this. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about, isn't it? Isn't it? So yeah, it's the new single. You're probably thinking, when Darren does it, he's gonna slag it off because he's horrible. He likes slagging things off. He upsets me every time I watch one of his videos. He just pisses on my cornflakes. Well, steady on there, Sonny Jim. Don't rush things. You're saying I'm predictable, and I'm not. I'm unpredictable. You never know when I'm coming on. You never know. Sorry, there's these little flies. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're outside, and they're inside. I think it's the very damp winter we've had. The midges, I suppose you call them midges. Anyway, The Piper's cool. It's the first song that's been released from Strange and Luck, which is Gilmore's new album coming out on the 6th of September, Roger Waters' birthday. And yeah, of course, he's doing his thing, and I guess it's written by his missus, Polly Sampson, isn't it? I don't know. I should have really done a bit more research. I should have looked into this. Mind you, I did listen to this last week, I think. I did. I listened to it last week. I'm not doing a very good job here. I'm distracted. Yeah, so Luck and Strange is coming out. And it's interesting because it's actually not produced by Phil Manzanera. I don't know if you remember, but back on the Rattle That Lock tour, Manzanera got dismissed towards the end of the tour. And normally Manzanera has been working with Gilmore since Momentary Lapse of Reason, in a production, capacity. And yeah, it's interesting because he's using Charlie Andrew as the producer now. Charlie Andrews, he's one of those hip young things. He's probably most famous for working with Alt J. Who remembers them? Eh? And I think he worked on Madness's Wee Wee Si Si Ya Ya Da Da album too, so that's all right. But anyway, Gilmore was impressed because this is a young fella. And I must admit, that's what impressed me over this first new song, which is called The Piper's Call. It's 5 minutes 15, I believe. Yeah, the production kind of impressed me because it's a bit more organic. It's a bit more open than what we've heard previously. Before with Gilmore, again, it has that almost crystalline, icy production, and this time around it's more earthy. The drums have a bigger roundness to them. Everything just sounds a bit more, like I say, organic, a bit more alive, a bit more of the earth. So that was impressive. The song, I think it's an anti-consumerism kind of thing. Beware the Piper's Call, blah blah blah. Something to do with getting old, age. There's stuff in it. I think it's anti-consumerism, which is funny because we've got a multi-millionaire telling us about don't spend your money. Don't spend your money. Don't be a consumer unless you're buying my products and you're going to my gigs, which is kind of contradictory. So I wasn't too keen on the lyrics, but it's all right. I mean, it's all right. It's got that kind of, again, in another world, you could easily imagine it being on the Division Bell. It's got that kind of, it's got that kind of feel from the Division Bell. And the interesting thing about it is I can still remember the tune. Now, this is very different from On an Island or Round That Lock, where I cannot remember anything of those records. They were not there, but like I said, I listened to it. I think I played it twice. I listened to it myself, and then I played it for the missus. And she went, "Yeah, it's not bad." I went, "Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it?" And it's got all the things, all the hallmarks that you'd expect. You've got the Gilmore vocals. though when he starts off, it does sound like he's got the wrong teeth in. Just saying, just saying. But the rest of it sounds okay. The first verse sounds a little bit, a little bit wrong teeth. This happens with older artists. It happens, but it's got your slide guitar. It's got your soaring guitar solo on it. It's got a lovely chorus of young female voices to back him up, and yeah, it's all right. It didn't offend me. It's got a tune. It's a tune. The lyrical content, I think, is a little bit lacking, but it's the way it is. But the more important thing is it has a tune that you can whistle. I was even thinking about it when I was walking the dog. So that's a good thing. That means it works. And I'm kind of positive for the new album. I've got my fingers crossed. Because, maybe this use of a new producer is where it's at. Now, Darren, he's a big-headed bastard, right? He's always said that more legacy artists should use different producers, right? Because they get stuck in a rut of producing themselves. Well, Gilmore, I imagine he's probably watched one of my videos. He probably thought, that Darren guy, God, not only is he handsome, but he's incredibly intelligent and perceptive. I'm going to dump Manzanera and I'm going to get myself a new producer. That's what he was thinking. And so I think this has really helped this one track. So I'm hopeful for the rest of the album. Like I say, but we've got quite a wait. I mean, it's interesting because he's announced it in September. But that could be to do with the lead lines for vinyl, because there's a lot of vinyl pressings, there's different coloured vinyls and all that. So I thought this isn't bad. It sounded Floydy. Considering in interviews Gilmore's been saying how he wants to leave Floyd in the past, and if you go and see him live this time around, it seems that he's going to be dumping a lot of that old Floyd stuff, and you're getting From an Island and Rattle That Lock. Oh yeah, you're going to have to sit through that first. So that's an interesting thing. So I thought it wasn't bad. It didn't bore me. And normally when I listen to Gilmore, I fall into a catatonic slumber. Whereas this, I thought it was pleasant. It was pleasant. It was mildly pleasant, almost enjoyable. And that's almost a thumbs up. There you go. That's my review of the new Gilmore single. It's not really a single. It's a video, isn't it? Called was it The Piper's Call? And and like I said, the album's out 6th of September, and that's called Luck and Strange. Did I call it Strange and Luck before? Luck and Strange. No. And we've got that to look forward to. Released on Roger Waters' birthday. There you go. Thank you for watching. See, that's it. That's the review. That was good, that wasn't it? So and Kieran says, "Hi Darren, beautiful dog." Wait a minute. Got a close up. Got to pretend as if nothing has happened. There we go. I'm going to try and adjust the. We're trying to adjust the colour. All right. Try and adjust the colour, right? There you go, look. There you go. Look at that. There you go. Look, that's a dog. There you go. Put the exposure down again now. Alright. So there you go. Bit of dog cam for you. She actually settled in one space. Andrew says tickets were cheap, 20 quid. What? They paid you 20 quid to listen to Arthur Brown? That's a bargain. Renee's in. The watermelon has arrived, and everyone's wishing. It's Andrew's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. David's in. He says hi, Dave. He says, I know you're not a big fan of David Gilmour, but I like the new song. That's where you're wrong. I'm a really big fan of David Gilmour. I just don't think much of his solo work. It's a bit dull, but I've done my review of it now. David adds, new Gilmour album comes up on Roger Waters' birthday, actually, which is what I just said. I've been saying that. So dog loves it when I buy raspberries. Really? Get it, quick! Get the ball! Get the ball! Ah. Do you talk to me? Talk. I can't throw it down. Ugh, it's all wet. Oh, it's all dribbly. Oh no! What's going on? What's happening? I can't. What? Where's it gone? Where's Herbie? Go and see Herbie. Come on. Come on, go get it. Quick. Come on. Payne's in. This is good evening. This is a happy birthday to him. Everyone wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Andrew Kostnik. Happy birthday to you. There you go. David says, I saw your review of Have You Got It Yet? I still haven't seen it, but I'm intrigued. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Again, if you're not familiar with the story of Barrett, you'll get something from it. But again, if you're an old fart like me who's read every column inch and seen various takes on the mythos, it does get a little bit repetitive. And again, there's like 2/3 of the film is the Barrett Floyd story, and then there's a little bit at the end where he goes home, and I want to know that bit. I want to hear stories of him surviving. Because there must be some stories. His sister must have something to say, but that's not what the story is. The story is that of the genius who fried his brain with acid and lost it all. And that's the story. And I find that story kind of sad. Whereas if I'd heard a little bit more of the domestic bliss, side of things, then it might have been a slightly different story. But And David Hayes, the only doc I've seen is the Pink Floyd and Barrett story, the one done by John Edgington. There's that, and you get in the various making of, like the making of Wish You Were Here or Dark Side of the Moon. They always tell the Barrett story because it's intertwined with those albums. Madness is a theme that runs through Floyd, and when that's shorthand for Syd Barrett. And so I mean, it's all right. It's weird because, like I said, it was 10 years delayed, and so Storm Thorgerson's been dead a long time, and at the end there's like a roll call of those that have passed, and they're all speaking. It's just like Mick Rock takes part and he's passed. There's a lot of people in it that at the end aren't here, so it's quite a. I don't think that helped. I don't think that helped the delay in the production side of things. But yeah, Roddy Bagoa, he did this. He also did the Storm Thorgerson documentary, which came out about 10 years ago too, I think. I did do a review of it somewhere, and it was kind of done as a co-production between him and Storm Thorgerson. So yeah, I mean, it's authoritative because the people who speak were the people who were there. There's no talking heads. There's no poppets who were not even born then. All the people that say the words are the people that were actually there, and they've all got a story to tell you. But unfortunately, it's very much the same story. I don't think there's any new insight. Not again. What am I expecting? I'm expecting something fresh. I'm expecting, I don't know, some new footage or some new pictures or something to nourish me, and it wasn't really like that. Oh, I've got to go for a second. Look at some bubbles. Hey, I'm back in the room. Just had to say good night. Good night, everyone. Not to you, to those ones. Renee says, oh, right, where are we? No, I've got David says, I'd rather see a story about what he did afterwards, after he left Pink Floyd. I've actually tried to get info on the internet about that, but I find it pretty scarce. Again, his sister put a kind of ring of steel around him, and again, I don't want to, maybe he was too mentally incapacitated to have a story, but you're telling me that there was nothing but painting and destroying paintings after Pink Floyd? That's a significant amount of time. There must be some stories, there must be some narrative to be told, there must be some nice things that happened, again, I think that's done it's almost designed to keep the mythos alive, isn't it? It's almost done to keep the mystery, Maybe they do it because they don't want to show you just how disturbed he was, because again, that would spoil the mystery. Maybe he had some unsavoury habits that they don't want to talk about, But then, if it is talked about, then surely that's a warning. It's a warning for people not to tread the same path as Barrett, because at the end of it, it is just a really sad fucking story. It makes me sad anyway. But yeah, I always want more than I can have, and that's why I'm always I've always got something to talk about because I want more than they can give. But there you go. Renee says 26 degrees Celsius today over here. It was 17 here, which was bibiting, which was nice. It was pleasant. Andrew says, yes, the weather is slowly getting better in the UK. It is. It's good. I think it might even be warmer tomorrow. It might be 19, a balmy 19. So yeah, it's come in. The water's lovely, isn't it? Isn't it just? Isn't it? 11 viewers. Oh, this early evening routine, it's really catching them out. Oops. Oh well. What can you do about it, eh? Are you enjoying the early streams? I do not know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Nobody knows. Any more for any more. Well, I don't know what else to talk about. I've done everything now. It's time to finish. How long have we been on? 25 minutes. I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about? Yeah, Gilmore. Yeah, I said I think there's a big interview in one of the magazines, and bits of the interview's been leaking out. And so yeah, he's saying he's going to be doing another tour, and there could possibly be another album coming out shortly after. So that's interesting. But asked if there could ever be a Pink Floyd hologram show like ABBA. He said he wasn't impressed by the ABBA one. He wasn't impressed by it. And he said if there was one, there'd be a few caveats. It'd be a rather onerous thing to do. Of course, it'd only go ahead if the Roger Waters hologram was decked out in full Nazi regalia and Goose stepped onto the stage complete with little Charlie Chaplin moustache. That's the only. I think that's what he's going to agree to. He'd happily agree to that. Andrew says, got the new Pet Shop Boys album. Not sure if it's any good. it's Pet Shop Boys album. It's going to be shit. They ain't had a good album since, was it 1989? Runs in. He says, "Hi, just off the bed. I see you're early." Oh yeah, I'm early. I'm trying to go in early. Ronnie says, "Do you sometimes have a beer?" No, I don't. I don't drink. I'm virtually teetotal. Of course, for Christmas and maybe Easter, my birthday, and maybe on the wedding anniversary, we might go to the pub. I'll have a cider or something. But no, I don't. I don't drink. Sorry, boring. I don't drink anymore. David says, "Oh no, not a Gilmore interview. He's not a very exciting person to listen to speak. Very dull." Well, he's a guitarist, you know. What'd you expect? He just likes, he's not like the other one who just won't shut up. And he wants to tell everyone how to think. But yeah. So yeah, he's getting a good holographic Pink Floyd. That could be fun, couldn't it? It's like, no, it's terrifying. Do 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 do. Blimey. What should we talk about? Anyone got any more stories? Anyone? Anything? You've been enjoying the Pet Shop Boys album then, have you? I had a little flick through it and it just, nah. Again, they're a bit like Arthur Brown, but at least they've got more songs, haven't they? There's more songs. Any other albums that have come out that anyone wants to talk about? No? Anyone get anything good for Record Store Day? We could plough that furrow again, couldn't we? Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about guitars. And you won't want me to talk about guitars, will you? Payne says, "I've got stories, but they are all sad or downers." Oh, come on in. I don't mind. Remember, a trouble shared is a trouble halved. And also, it'll make us all feel better about ourselves if you're having a shit time. Hey, come on. There's always a silver lining. Riley says, "What do you think about limited editions, numbered?" Well, in the old days, I used to get incredibly excited about them. I used to think, "Oh, it's limited," and now not so much. Again, oh god, I mean, it's like that Mike Oldfield one, the Hergist. He goes, it's like that Mike Oldfield one. He says, holding it up, that Hergist Ridge thing. Isn't there something like only 1,000 of them or something like that? It's not numbered or anything, but I read somewhere it's like only 1,000 or something. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, with Mike Oldfield, I bought that 12-inch from the Olympics. Must have been back in 2012. They put his Olympic performance on a 12-inch single. And I bought it. Because back in 2012, no one was really caring much about vinyl then. And I just bought it because I wanted something to remind me of the Olympics and the opening ceremony. I thought it was a nice thing. And then turns out that's really limited and it's worth some money. But I'm not going to sell it because I like it. Things I like I don't sell. Unless I need the money or, whatever. So, I don't know. Again, I've lived through a time where, we had the whole CD thing and CD singles and they'd have limited edition and they'd be numbered and they'd say, limited edition. You go, how many? You go, 15,000. You go, is that a lot? Sounds like a lot. There's a lot of notes in it. And then, nowadays, those limited edition CD singles are not worth jack shit, so I don't know. it's the things that you don't expect to be limited that end up being limited. So when they put the word limited edition on something, it's the converse. It's the opposite. It has the opposite effect. So. Andrew says the Doors live one looked rather good. Yeah, I can't buy them all though. Payne says, sorry, the first. Today would have been my mother's 86th birthday. We put flowers on her grave. Well, you remembered her. Is that, I don't know. Is it a sad thing? Is it a happy thing? It's how you want to play that game. We're only here for a moment, and you're a Christian, aren't you? So you believe in the hereafter. So then it's a good thing. She's in heaven, doing a little dance, having a good time. So you should take some solace from that. Surely your faith should give you the comfort. And you going to a grave and laying flowers, that gives, you're honouring your commitment as a son. So that's what you draw from that experience. So I don't see anything to be sad. But then I've never visited the grave of my grandparents or my mother, so because it's done, they're gone. Who wants to look at a hole? I looked at the hole in the ground when they were putting them in. I don't want to be reminded of that. So I'm a bad grandson. Andrew says both my parents are now gone. Well, what, just popped out? What, just gone to the shops? Gone to the offie? Get some booze. Probably be back in half an hour if you're lucky. Might get you some Space Raiders if you're lucky. I know, I'm being funny. Look, we're here, but for a brief while. We are merely a mote of dust passing through a beam of light. The darkness either side representing the moments where we weren't here and where we're not going to be here. We're passing through that little beam of light, a little speck of dust, visible for a hair's breadth of time. If you compare it to the cosmic clock, we're just little LED lights blinking on and off. We're part of the cosmic conundrum. Maybe we're part of a binary supercomputer and our lives mean something. We're kind of an organic computer in the cosmos. Who knows? But, just do good things. Just be nice, It's not that bad. It could be worse. And there'll always be people better off than you, and there'll always people be worse off than you. And, it's just a matter of carrying on, persevering, being stubborn, being a git. Be a git and say, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to carry on, just to annoy everyone like I do. I'm here just to annoy all of you. All right? So it's not that bad. It could be worse. Okay? So I don't know. I don't know if that's any help or advice to anyone, but that's the way I look at it. Where are we? Payne says, I do take solace from my faith. Others may think it's sad. It's an act of remembrance. Well, no, you can. That's your thing. I don't care. None of my business. None of my business. Of course, behind his back, we'll all laugh at him, all right? But not to his face, because we're nice. Religion is one of those odd things. It's an odd thing. And again, I think as somebody who's a non-believer, and I believe in the organic, I believe in the biology of things. We created God in our own image to keep the wolves from the door, to explain, the heavens and the earth and the wind and the rain and the hey nonny nonny. And there was a time for that, and I wonder why we still have it, so I'm perplexed. But if you've got faith, good for you. Good for you. I believe in music. There you go. I think we've all got to believe in something. I believe in dog, which is the reverse of God, because there's something quite holy between the relationship between a man and his four-legged friend. It's a relationship that's quite special and unique. So there you go. I believe in dog. There you go. You can have your God. Rene says, there was this guy on YouTube and he got a numbered limited album. A couple of days later, he got the same album with the same number. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. I've not had that happen myself, But I've had some pretty high numbers when they've sent them out. I've never had any low ones, like a number 1 or 2 or something. So I've always had the high numbers. Payne says, I found some Gracie Field records in the attic. That's a tragic story. Hey, might be worth something on eBay, you never know. Andrew asks, do I believe in heaven? What, the gay nightclub? Yeah, I think there was a nightclub called Heaven for the gay people. Or do you mean that state of consciousness when we die? No, not particularly. I think I believe that we're all energy, and the energy transference that we go through after we die is often mistaken for that movement to a higher plane called heaven. I think it's because you can't destroy energy. Energy can't be destroyed. It just can be transferred. So, when the electrochemical signals in our brain go off, I believe that they may go somewhere else. We return to the cosmic consciousness, and that hum that they hear in the cosmos, hum, until those minds are recycled and reused again. It's something cosmic. It's something that can't be quantified. And, but the streetlights talk to me. So I don't want to believe in it, but the streetlights talk to me. In some cultures, they believe that these signals, these things that you see, are messages from the hereafter, from your ancestors, warning you or giving you advice. So maybe there's something, but that is the cosmic consciousness. Who knows? But there isn't a week that goes by where the streetlights don't blink at me. They've got a new way now. They've got a new way of doing it. And it's happened on 2 separate occasions, 2 different lights, 5 rapid flashes, pulse to bright, then fade. It happened to me last week at the street lamp near the bus stop, and it happened to me on Sunday on a different street lamp as I was just walking towards it. As I was crossing the road, it did it, and it went dark for a bit. And I said, not while I'm crossing the road. Naughty, like that. And it did 5. And then it pulsed, and then it went back to normal. And I went, all right. And then the dog was having a wee, so we stood under the street light, and it fucking did it again. And then it didn't do it anymore. So what does it all mean? I don't know, but that's happened to me since around the time my grandmother died. So it's been over 32 years that's been happening, and the missus has seen it. It's happened to me in Leighton. It's happened to me in Leytonstone. It's happened to me in Loughton when we used to walk Alex. It's happened when I moved to Horsford. There was a lamp that we used to walk by, and during the day, Verity used to say, "There's a little old lady." Now, I saw a little spirit old lady when I was a baby, and I told my dad, but we were on the first floor. How could a little old lady be at the window on the first floor? Freaked him out. It took me out into the night in the buggy and refused to go back until time had passed. Well, anyway, Verity used to see a little old lady standing by the street lamp. And again, walking past it with Alex, it used to flicker on and off. And I've always thought it was maybe my nan or whatever, So who knows? I don't believe in it though, but it happens. It's weird. It's weird. I don't get it. It's probably just coincidence, but it happens too many times, And again, Verity's been with me when it's happened. Mrs. has been with me. Herb's been with me. We've been all together and it's happened. Or either that or all the lights are really on the blink round here. So who knows? Or maybe I'm just going mad. Or the missus says I'm the one that's doing it. I've got some sort of telekinetic ability, which is really useless. Really useless. Why can't I get something good like being able to move things with my mind? Useful for when I'm sitting on the sofa and I drop the remote control. I could just levitate it back up and get it. But no, lights flickering on and off. What the fuck's that all about? Eh? Lee says, talking about the cosmic, which should be the title. We go cosmic, absolutely. I like it, Lee. I like it. I'm going to go with that one. Alex says, do you think we'll get a demo of all Mike Oldfield's albums released on Record Store Day, like Omadon next year? Seems every year since 2016 they released a limited T-Rex album. Well, we've had Tubular Bells 2 on blue vinyl on Record Store Day. We've had the... What else have we had? We had the Tubular Bells demo, that was last year. We had this one this year. We could get Omadon. I don't know, were the demos on that? The expanded one? Let me have a look. Because it all depends what's on this, you see. Where are the demos on here? Oh, God. This too. Yeah, there's a Omadon lost version. Let me just... You can see that. Omadon lost version. So, to quote Hong Kong Phooey, could be. You never know. I'll try and put those back on the shelf now. So yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as the Hergis Ridge one. You know, I think the Hergis Ridge one is really... I mean, of course, I already heard it because it's on the CD, but it's really nice to own it, and I listened to it and I really enjoyed it. So, positive. Where are we? Lee says, have you had your midlife crisis? I can't be bothered. I've had many crises. It started when I was in my 20s. There have been many crises. Whether they're midlife crises, I don't know. I joke that the guitars are the midlife crises. The guitars. But I'm just having fun. Because I realised it the other day why it's guitars. It's because I haven't got any music to fixate on. There's no music anymore, you know. There's nothing worth fixating on. So I'm, you know, I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time with musical instruments. So that's fun. That'd be fun. So, but again, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what midlife crisis. In the old days, it was it get a fast car, pick up dolly birds. Well, I've never had any interest in driving, you know, and no, I'm far too complex for a midlife crisis. Far too complex for that, I'm afraid. Oh, Tom Pinks is in. How goes it? Hope you're doing well. Oh, I'm all right. I had a bit. You want to know? Oh, do you want to go? Oh, it was bad on Friday. I had really bad peripheral neuropathy on Friday. Really, I was like an old man. I was, well, even older man. I was like a little old man. I was hobbling. Around. But I think it might be the cold. I'm sure the cold's got something to do with it. But I've been feeling all right the last couple of days, so that was good. It passed over the weekend, so that was nice. But on Friday, I could have just given up. It was just horrible. It was painful. And I've got to walk the dog, so. And they say that walking is good for the neuropathy, so we walk. And though, according to my magic scales, my nervous response is actually improving. It's gone up from, was it 72 was its lowest? It's gone up to 79. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. Not having sugar and doing stuff. It's great. I'm doing brilliantly. Hooray! I'm so happy. Look at me. I'm so happy. David says, Sandy Denny, there's another sad story. Yeah, alcoholism. Falling down the stairs, bang on the head. No more Sandy Denny, you know. But that's it, don't drink. Or if you do drink, live in a bungalow, you know, or with no stairs. Because you really don't want to fall down the stairs. Pink goes, hum. That is the sound of the cosmic consciousness he's emulating there. Payne says, sometimes at the side of the road I get a message from the red man who tells me not to cross the road, and the green man who contradicts him and says cross. Yeah, but maybe you got it the wrong way around. Have you ever thought that? Maybe you should cross on the red and stay still on the green. But more importantly, do you hear a beep, beep, beep sound? And if you do you look at your watch thinking it's the 1980s? Alex says, nice one, Robert. Oh, well. You can mock me, you can mock, but I know. I know. Rene says, what band did you like most in the 80s? Well, it'd be Queen, I suppose. Depends what part of the 80s. Early part of the 80s it'd be Queen because they're the first band. Latterly it would have been Genesis and Peter Gabriel. So there you go. Andrew says it was the Lost Tapes on Omadon. Yeah, I know, I just picked it up. Alex says, let's hope we don't get a demo of Islands. The original was bad enough. David says, what are some of your favourite books? Moby Dick, that's it. That's my get out. Moby Dick. Selected works of T.S. Eliot, Douglas, anything, Douglas Adams, that kind of stuff. Harry Harrison, Ray Bradbury, because I grew up on sci-fi. H.G. Wells, Asimov. Read a lot of Irving Welsh in the 90s when I used to go on holiday. I used to consume books then. Read a lot of James Herbert back in the day, horror. That was good fun. Went through my horror period. But nowadays it's more biographies. It's more like music biographies and things like that. But I've kind of got out of the habit of reading because when I read, I tend to just consume. I tend to just like sit down and like read a book in an afternoon. I've always been like that. So I got through a lot of books. And when I was young, I did a lot of reading too, because I don't know if you're a certain age, but when I was at school and in the infants and juniors, it was more the juniors than the infants. We used to have in every classroom there used to be like a little library, and in the books then it wasn't it wasn't. I guess I don't know. Was it age appropriate? Probably not. But it'd have the classics. You'd have Alexander Dumas and all manner of stuff. There was sci-fi books from the 60s and 70s there. Mind you, it was still the 70s because that's how old I am. And so there was Dickens and all manner of stuff there, Bronte sisters. And so I'd work through those. I'd take a book and read it over the weekend and put it back. And I read an awful lot of classics, But that was a long time ago, so if you say to me if you've read so and so, I'll probably go, probably. I probably have, because I did an awful lot of reading between the ages of 5 and about 18, and then I kind of stopped. So I was worried because I wanted to be a writer, and I was worried if I read other people's work, it'd influence my own writing too much. So I wanted to kind of do a detox and not read and write instead. No, that's good. But then I was reading on the train to work sometimes and listened to music at the same time. Read a few books, well, quite a few books back in. But again, so many books, it's hard to remember them all, isn't it? But yeah, books, they're great. Very, very good for propping up the table when the legs got a bit wonky. Rena says, I'm 59 wearing a black leather jacket. Am I in a midlife crisis? I'm 53 and I wear skinny jeans. I've been thinking about getting I've got a leather jacket, but it's got a bit kind of funky over the years. It needs to be refinished. I don't know. You know what happens to leather if you just put it in a cupboard and leave it. I was toying with the idea of getting another leather jacket, but I've got this black one I've got, which is cotton, which is great in the summer, but not so great when it's a bit chillier. So, but I look cool anyway. I look fucking cool, man. Payne says, I look at my clothes and I think it's the 1990s because he's still going through his baggy phase. He's got a bowl haircut. He's doing the baggy movement, early 90s, isn't it? He's listening to the Happy Mondays, doing the baggy phase. Lee says, do you think more we wander towards the big D, what, the big dick, I mean death, the more we hope there is something else beyond? We could look down and hopefully give some signs to children from beyond the grave. Well, I wrote a song about that called I'll Come Back to Haunt You. He said, and I'll go to, this gives me a great chance to promote my terrible music. I got some money last week for my terrible music, which was nice. It was a surprise. I'm big in France, apparently. Who'd have thought it, eh? Big in France. There you go. You can. What's that? Don't do that. I'm big in France. I had a hit in France. Who'd have thought you could go and listen to that and sing along with the lyrics? It's very good. Well, I always say to the kids that I will come back to haunt you, because my mum used to say it to me, and I do believe that she killed my father because she said she was going to kill him. When she died, she was gonna kill him, and she died in, was it 2012, and he died in 2017, and he died of throat cancer, mouth cancer, I believe. And I always say that was all the lies he told finally festered in his mouth. So yeah, great. So I reckon she did it. But whether it's all, again, we talk in these things, there's I've had spooky things happen, but I don't. But again, it's just purely coincidence. It's got to be coincidence, because I'm a rationalist. But it just gets tiring. These constant messages and flashing lights. It's like, oh, it's getting more. That's more concerning, because before it'd be like every so often, and now it's every week. And it's weird. It's weird. But it's good, because sometimes I've got people with me and they've seen it, and they go, they believe me when I tell them. But I think I'm going a little bit mad. That's the only problem. Lee says, call Yvette Fielding. Oh, what, Ghostwatch or whatever it is, whatever they do. Alex says, obviously heaven and God exist. David Icke said so. And he also said that the Queen was a lizard. He's also the son of God. Oh, who remembers his purple phase? Mind you, also said the moon is man-made and every world leader is a shape-shifting lizard. You got to love David Icke. But hey, he learned to grift on it. This is the big lesson there is, it doesn't matter how batshit crazy you are, you can make money out of your craziness, because there are people out there even crazier than you that will listen to what you've got to say. That's why you're here, listening to me. But I don't make any money out of this. Yeah, I mean, it don't help, does it? David says, T.S. Eliot, truly stunning good poet, amazing stuff. The Wasteland, just remarkable. Well, was it 2 years ago now? Crikey, where did those 2 years go? It was the 100th anniversary of The Wasteland, and I got a really good version of it, like the annotated, complete manuscript with all the notes from Ezra Pound on it, and there's it's like the 12-inch mega mix of The Wasteland. Mwah. Oh, it was lovely. But I studied English. I got 2 English A-levels for my troubles, one in literature, one in language. They said it couldn't be done. I did it just to show them that it could be done. And yeah, it's what I'm good at. But I remember, it must be when I was doing my O-levels. I can't tell if it was O-levels or I think it was O-levels, but the English teacher we had, she said she set us a challenge to go and read a poem a day. I was telling the kids about this the other day, last week I think it was. And so I took it up. I took the challenge up, and I went to the library, and there was a big book of poems, and I worked my way through them. And when I finished that, I moved on to the next book, and yeah, I read a poem a day, and I analysed it, and yeah, that was good. I told you lot as well. I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself. Andrew says, I was going to ask you who your favourite poets. Well, there you go. Someone says, good evening. Good evening. David says, I remember the first few times I read The Wasteland. I was very young and understood none of it, but it was fascinated by the language. That's the thing. You've got to understand that these are characters speaking. There are various voices talking. It's not poetry as you would expect it to be, but these are voices from London, among other places. Again, he talks about his own experiences. There's there's love in it. There's his own relationship with his wife, and her breakdown. There's the voices in London. Hurry up, it's time. That section, which is from a London pub, which he captures perfectly. You can imagine that publican telling the story, and it's just love that bit. Perfect. Simon says, April is the coolest month, indeed. Over says, at primary school at the age of 7 years, we read Charles Kingsley's classic, The Water Babies. I still remember listening to every word and the images it created. Yeah, this is it. Rennie says, I've got 4 of your terrible CDs in Holland, Darren. I'm planning to take you over. Oh, 25 people in. Blimey. We're at the top of the charts. On top of the charts, I say. Lee says, after 53, it has to be corduroy all the way. Trousers, even jackets, neckerchiefs and socks. I'll go total beige leather. Starts like Peter Wingard. I'm 54. Seriously considering it. Never. Lost weight, skinny jeans, T-shirts, black, more black. Basically, I'm dressing the same as I did when I was in my 20s. I've never changed my style. I haven't got a style. Jeans, boots. I used to wear a leather jacket up until, like I said, I got a bit fat for it, so I put it in the cupboard. But because I'm out in all weathers, I have a big long coat that I wear. So I wear my Doctor Who coat. Call it. Because of the lining. But, yeah, who cares? Right. Alex, you want a bit max headroom there? Hi. I can't really do max headroom. Russell says, though my current sciatica may put a bit of a crimp on my strut. Oh, mine. Left hip. Oh, blimey. Oh, God. Let's all complain about our aches and pains, shall we? Pain ads. I wrote a nonsense poem in school at 11. The teacher wrote, Is this all your own work? The cheek of it. Low expectations. Yeah, but hey, it never stopped you being the success that you are, did it? There you go. You built on that nonsense poem. David says, I'm a big fan of Allen Ginsberg. Yeah, man, one of the beat poets. Don't be a square. Howl is a masterpiece. Andrew says, I tried getting to William Burroughs, but it was too weird for me. Yeah, it is a bit weird, isn't it? It's all a bit weird. For those of you who are watching on catch up, name your favourite poets in the comment box below. That was good, wasn't it? It was almost like a YouTuber there. I'm getting the hang of this. Getting the hang. Oh dear, what are we doing? How do we get here? It's Tuesday night. We lost 5 viewers. Blimey, what happened? I must have offended them with my bebop poetry. John Cooper Clarke, oh yeah, he's been doing the same act for many years, isn't he? I remember him in the 70s doing that act, and then, blimey, here he is again, still doing the act. Yeah. Indeed. Who likes Pam Ayres? I'm a poet and I don't know it. She's from Norfolk. I think that's all they've got in it. Pam Ayres and Delia Smith. Used to be on, was it That's Life, if I remember? That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Renee says, my favourite is still God Pays Debts. You should bring it out on vinyl as a vinyl set. Do you know how much that would cost? Do you know how much that would cost? We're talking thousands and thousands of pounds. You're looking at least, oh God, it's embarrassing. Yeah, you're looking at least about £4,000. Probably maybe less than that, but no, I reckon about £4,000. Probably even more. That's just for 100. But it's 100 times 4 because it'd be a 4. Oh no, it'd be even longer than that. Crikey. Oh God, it'd be even longer than that because I've maxed out the CDs. Shit, it's probably going to be about six sides, I think, possibly 8. I can't do it. Can't be done. Alex's favourite poet, Dr. Seuss. I won't eat green eggs and ham. G-Man likes Alan Partridge. Back of the net. Ovi says, at 11, went to write a poem. I copied the lyrics to Eclipse of Dark Side of the Moon and had to read it out in class. Teacher thought I was a genius. Yeah, I think there's that plagiarism thing. I did it. I did this. It wasn't. It was meant to be like an introduction. I was doing this thing on. I did this little book on space, right? So I was doing a profile of all the planets. This was when I was about 11, 12, and I thought it'd be good if I borrow Douglas Adams. You know, you think space is big. You know, it's nothing. You think walking to the shops is a long way. It's nothing to compare to space. So I copied that little bit as the prologue, right? And I forgot to put on it Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I forgot. That's my excuse. I was 11 or 12, and I think the teacher found out, and I had to explain it. And I went, I wanted it to be the prologue. But I never did anything like that again. It was meant to be funny because the rest of it was really dry. It was like a profile of all the planets in the solar system, and it was all statistics and and size and that was it. And I got into trouble for that. I didn't get away with it. So, but there you go. I didn't do it again. But luckily, I could just, because it was stuck in, I could just peel it out, the intro, and write another prologue in, stick another prologue on it, which I'd written, so no harm done. But I did get told off, and it was a bit embarrassing. So there you go. Tommy says, Vogon poetry is great. An ode to an ode to a piece of green putty I found in my armpit one midsummer morn. Indeed. Blimey, the Hitchhikers fans are in tonight. Aren't they just? Oh, there's no. I can't believe it. There are no restrictions on the live stream. Surely this can't be a thing. How can this? What? This ain't going wrong here. This ain't going wrong. I can't believe it. You better watch out. If you don't start talking, I'm going to start talking about guitars. I'm warning you. I'm warning you, I'm going to talk about guitars. If you don't start talking, you've had fair warning. Okay, just warning you. Just giving you a heads up, so you better start talking, because there will be some guitar talk. Getting a bit dry. I don't get a coffee at the beginning of this. I'm drying out a bit. Alex says, like some Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven. Yeah, The Raven, that one. I have a book of his complete works. It states only one of his works has dialogue, as he was so awful at writing dialogue. Get me a sandwich. I imagine that's what he'd write. Yeah. He wouldn't do it very well. Payne says Edward Lear was rubbish at limericks. His last line nearly the same as the first. There was an old man from Nantucket. No? Okay, you can finish that one. Yeah. Oh, me back. Alex says another one of my faves is Rick the People's Poet. Ah, yes. Again, the funny thing is everyone's turned into Rick now, isn't it? Everyone's a fascist now. What was a parody of the ultra right on student, everyone adopted in their online persona. And if you disagree with someone, you now get the right to call him a fascist, like Rick did. And we laughed at him. We laughed at him in those days because he was being overblown and ridiculous. But now everyone's a Rick, spelt with a silent P, obviously. So there we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I've got another 20 minutes to go. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm gagging for a drink. I'm really dry. Subway. I don't know. I need some more to work on with that. Subway. It's just one word. I don't know. What does that mean? What about Subway? What sandwiches? I don't know. What word association? Subway. The words of the prophets were written on the subway wall. Help me, help me. Look above. And what am I looking for? It's too cryptic. Edward Lear, Subway. Rick the People's Poe, what? Oh, I don't know. You'll have to prepare a flask for next week. It might get cold though, mightn't it? It might get cold. Oh, what you mean? Like, no, I think I'll have to come on with a. I'm not used to this. I'm messing everything up by coming on early. I'll have to bring a drink with me, a sugar-free cola or something. It's good, all the sugar-free stuff now. I finally can do sugar-free. That's great. Alex, some of Spike Milligan's writers were very funny. Yeah, was it eating peas with honey because they stay on the knife? That was one of Spike Milligan's, though I've completely mangled it. I remember reading a book of his poetry as a kid. And that's how I know that one. Roald Dahl was a big fan and insisted he played Willy Wonka. He wasn't a fan of Gene's performance. Well, he was wrong, wasn't he? Because Gene Wilder's genius. He would have loved Johnny Depp's performance. Oh, Andrew says I get my coffee at Subway. Oh right, I see. I don't know what's. I don't know. I only think of sandwiches at Subway. Renault says sometimes a big sandwich is nice at Subway. Yeah, again, I remember having them years ago when we were in America. We were in Vegas, and it's very hard to get anything with any vegetables in. And there was a sandwich that they did. I think it was a turkey sandwich, which had loads of like vegetables like tomato and lettuce and stuff in it. So we'd get one of those just to get some greens in us, you know. And that's the only memory I have of Subway. So there you go. That was in Viva Las Vegas. Payne says there are holes in the sky where the rain comes in. The holes are small. That's why the rain is thin. That's almost like that's not the Beatles. Didn't the Beatles nick that? Lee says, have you ever gone back to Leytonstone and given a tour of your roots to your children? Yes. Yes, I have. They have a nice tribute to Hitchcock and the entrance to the subway. The one at Leytonstone. Yeah, I remember that. I think I remember that. Yeah, we've driven around there. And where my grandparents' places, they've still got the same door and the same door number. If it ever disappears, it wasn't me what nicked it. Honest gov. Lee Russ says YouTube knackered my message and only showed Subway. It was cryptic. You got me guessing. Alex says yes. But do you know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall? Payne says, well, the Milligan and Beatles did have the same producer, exactly. I know. And he wrote Purple Aeroplane in response to Yellow Submarine. There we go. Small world, isn't it? Yeah, because Martin produced the Goons, didn't he? And that's how he knew all the special effects and tape loops and stuff because he did that work with the Goons back in the day, old George Martin. I'm gonna fell in the water. Sorry, just a something for our very, very old viewers. Incredibly old viewers. They're very old. Do 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 do. Why is it gone quiet? Very quiet. This is the quiet moment. This is the quiet bit. Anyway, I talked about this last week, but I had more adventures with my mini guitar. Because this is my fake mini Fender. It's not real. I got it for 50 quid off Cash Converters. And I took it to fix it up. Well, anyway, the person who put this together was an idiot. Absolute moron. I'm talking about guitars now. Because I was messing around with it and I developed, I was noticing there was a buzz. And you think, oh, maybe it's not shielded properly. You know, maybe there's something wrong with the soldering, a dry solder joint or something like that. Maybe the grounding has gone wrong. So I had a look at it, opened it up again, had a look. Soldering was a little bit iffy. I was worried that there was a grounding loop because the ground, you should always run the ground off of one pot to the jack and to the claw at the back. One ground, you know, two ways, not off of 2 points because that creates a ground loop. Apparently, that's what I've read up. And it had a ground, it had that, so I moved that, and it was still buzzing. I'm thinking, oh, that's odd. So I then ran a bit of wire, and I grounded because whenever I touched the metal, it buzzed. And I thought, oh, okay, so I grounded that, and it made a different noise. It was different. I thought, oh, that's different. And then I thought, wait a minute, there's one thing I haven't checked, and that is the wiring of the jack. For yes, whoever put this together wired the fucking jack the wrong way round. They wired the live to the sleeve and the ground to the tip, causing another ground loop, which whenever you touched anything metallic, it buzzed. So I fixed it, and now it plays. Well, it doesn't play perfectly because I'm getting some new tuners because these tuners are Pony. I think they're Squire tuners. And I've got some cheap Chinese locking tuners in which I'm going to slap on to see if that helps with the tuning stability, because there's a couple of these that are just like, they're that one, just loose as anything. It just doesn't even hold. It just, if you knock it, just pops. And that one too is just isn't no tension. So, and then it'll be almost perfect. But I did put it on eBay. I was going to sell it, And then I noticed the buzzing, and I thought, well, I can't sell it. But I was getting all these questions asking, does it play all right? And it's like, oh God, I'm going to get so many questions. And if somebody gets this, they're going to be so disappointed with it. So I end up pulling it. And I'm just going to have it as a little ornament, a little toy. So that's some guitar stuff. I've got another guitar. Yeah, but maybe another one. Payne says, a nice man wrote down the time for me, so when I want to know the time, I can look at a bit of paper. That's nice to know, Robert. Lee says, did you ever watch a match at Leytonstone Football Club, next to the boozer club my parents used to go to? No, but I went to the Orient. But not. Do you see? You got to remember, I'm from Leyton. I'm not really from Leytonstone. I just lived near Leytonstone Tube. I'm a Leyton boy. But no, I went to Leyton Orient, but not to watch them play. It was a fireworks display, and they ended it by playing "Fanfare for the Common Man" by ELP. There you go. Andrew says, birthday boys, going to bed, night night. Well, hopefully you had a good birthday, and here's to many, many more. Leaz, I've young memories of the comedian Jack Jones performing, as well as Mike Reed. Run around! Walking off in disgust. You plonker, Rodney. Oh no, it's the wrong one. Memories. And Ronnie says, good night. Thanks for the chat. I'm going early. God, everyone's fucking off. Jesus, I come on and everyone leaves me. Okay, then. And everyone's leaving there, so maybe we'll call it quits, and I'll get a drink of water. I was going to show you my other guitar, but it's too late now. Everyone's going. Everyone's sodded off. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'm going to turn in. If everyone's going, then I might as well stop now too. Hopefully you've had. Oh, Lee says, trivia question. What is the mascot of Leyton Orient? I don't think it had a mascot when I went there. Well, I know they didn't have dragons in the emblem so a dragon, because I think there were dragons on the club emblem. Am I right? Let me have a look. Oh, G-Man's here for the guitar. Wait a minute. Okay, well I'll do that then. Leyton Orient mascot. Oh, the wyvern. I thought they were dragons. Yeah, the wyvern. There you go. I thought it's been a long time. Come on, it's been a long time since I've looked at a Leyton Orient badge or whatever it's called. However, you want some Leyton Orient trivia? On my recording, the B team, it features me, my face superimposed on the Leyton Orient squad of 1976, I think it is, and you can indeed see the wyvern. See, look, you can see the wyvern. Look, see. And yeah, it's meant to be bad Photoshop because it's the B team. It's the joke. That's the joke of it. It's meant to be bad. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be a bad Photoshop. So don't think that that's my Photoshop skills are a lot better than that. So there you go. It's me paying homage to my heritage. There, you see. Payne says good night, and the rest of you. No, and good night to you. Hopefully you feel a bit better. I know these times can be hard, but it's not all bad. Come on, it'll be all right. Lee says, wyvern, not dragon. Come on, it's been a long time. Alex says, ever experienced with an ovation? Saw a nice one in cash converters. Are they any good? Some bloke said roundbacks are pretty uncomfortable. They were the ones from the 80s. They were like the big. I'm just saying what I know of them. I've never tried one. I've been tempted, but like you said, the backs of them. The backs of them were like fiberglass, or I think they were originally fiberglass, and then they made them out of plastic. Favoured by that guitarist bloke from that band, he used them with that League of guitarists or whatever, League of Crafty Guitarists, and they sound very brittle. They've got a very peculiar sound to them. They would they were deemed to be like the guitar of the future back in the day. But like I said, I'm not a particular fan of the sound of them. They haven't got that round sound that you get with acoustic. I find it a very brittle sound. So if it's cheap, pick it up. But I know some Ovations can be quite expensive, so I don't know. I think the necks are supposed to be quite good though. I think the necks are like really easy to play. So you've got that guy. It's like 6 of one, half a dozen the other. The necks are really good, but the bodies are a bit pony, and you've really got to like the sound it makes. And it does when you excuse me, a bit of a wheeze there. I think you can almost hear an Ovation sometimes. You can. I'm sorry, I can. I think they have this brittle sound. So yeah. Alex says Andrew Lloyd Webber is a big Leighton fan. Great. So yeah, guitar. Oh, I got this because there's a. Sorry, Lee says, night night, have a good Wednesday. I'm off to watch The Guardians from the network DVD as I won't be able to get to sleep due to my current sciatica. Oh, sorry to hear that. Massage. Need a deep buttock massage. If you've got a good friend, maybe they can help you. So, in the Alan Harwood collection, there was an Ed O'Brien Stratocaster. This is not it. This is another one, because I saw it. I saw this going, well, second hand. And it had the plastic on and everything, so I thought, well, it was a reasonable-ish kind of price. These have gone up now. The price of these have gone up. The thing about the Ed O'Brien is they've got a sustainer pickup there and the controls there. And what that does is when you turn it on, it makes the strings vibrate using feedback and magnetic feedback loop. Woo! Now, here's the story. The Alan Harwood one, when I got it, I couldn't get the sustainer to work. Something about the guitar felt wrong. And this happens. Sometimes you can get a guitar and it just feels wrong. I had a Fender 12 string, an electric 12, and that felt wrong and I sold it. And then I thought, oh man, maybe I was wrong. And then I bought another one and that one felt right. So the first one was wrong. And you can get that. You get two guitars in the same range that feel completely alien to each other. I spent many hours trying to get it to work, many hours trying to get it set up. The action was weirdly high. I tried lowering it, I tried adjusting the truss rod, I tried everything to get the sustainer to work. It was very patchy, and so I sold it. I wanted to keep it. It was one I wanted because again, when you're doing like what I do, DI, direct input recording of guitar, I don't use an amp. You miss out on stuff like feedback and noises like that. The sustainer allows you to do that. So anyway, I saw this for sale. I think it was on Gear for Music. Got it. I was a bit nervous. I was thinking, what if this is pony as well? So I plugged it in, and guess what? It works. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to work because I'm going to try and do it. See if I can get it to sustain. You have to plug it in for it to be active. And do you hear that? It works. See? It works. The other one, it didn't work. I couldn't get it to work. It was only very patchy in certain places. And it drove me nuts, so I sold it. And hopefully the next person isn't watching this video. But I'm going to pretend that this was Alan's. But it's not Alan's because it smells of peach or something. I don't know if someone has smoked vape or dripped vape on it. I can't get rid of this horrible. It smells like a young girl's bedroom. It makes me feel a bit queasy. I should stop sniffing it. But yeah, that's another purchase. I'm gonna have to sell a guitar. It's getting ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going to pretend that this is Alan's, but it isn't. This one works. The other one didn't, which I thought was interesting. Also, this is slightly different hue. This is more cream than white. It's supposed to be like Olympic white, but it doesn't really come across on this light. But to me, it's got more of a creamy colour, which I like. And I'm not a big fan of white guitars. Cream guitars I can do. So there you go. And Lee says the other half has long gone to sleep to offer massage. Oh well, that's a shame. Best friend, someone with manly hands that can manipulate you. Lee says, what's your advice to a man of a certain age who would like to play electric guitar to impress myself, children and any passing ladies? I don't know, buy a guitar. That's usually a good start. I don't know. Do you play guitar? Is it what you're learning? Honestly, if you're really interested in learning the guitar, buy an acoustic first, because then you don't have to invest in an amp. You can just sit there and learn, Kumbaya or whatever, insert your favourite hymn, and you can get one of those books and you can learn a few chords on it, and you can impress yourself by learning a few Beatles songs or whatever it is. And once you've mastered that, then go on to electric, because then you've got pedals and amps and things like that to play with. But if you're just nervously, tentatively wanting to learn, I'd start on an acoustic, because you don't need an amp for it. You can play it anywhere. You can have it in the room. Again, my advice is always to buy something that you desire. Buy a guitar that you really want to touch. Always buy a guitar that's slightly out your price range. I know it sounds odd, but you can get some really cheap guitars, but that are good now. Squires are excellent, but always pay for a little bit more. That way you're invested in it, and that way you're going to want to touch it. If you buy some cheap crap that hurts your fingers and cuts you, because the frets are rubbish, you're not going to want to pick it up. And this is the advice I give to kids as well, if you're watching kids. Buy a guitar there's some great second-hand bargains out there. It's very much a buyer's market in the second-hand market, but again, a little bit more risk attached to that, because you don't have the return if you go on eBay. But if you go to like guitar.co.uk or Gear for Music or whoever, they do have a returns policy, so you can always try those out. So you've got bargains there to be had. But yeah, that's it. And get a book. I learnt from a book, and I'm still learning. Have I ever learnt? Just keep banging the rocks together, innit? Said in the Toast of London voice, I see. You mean the Matt Berry voice? I have a guitar on the wall. It stays there. Oh well. I'm beat. You beat me. Play Wonderwall, and that will impress everyone. Exactly. No Wonderwall. No Stairway either. No Stairway. Lee says, I have a guitar I like on the wall, but I want the next step. Or is it just being an ornamental piece? What book? I don't know. I learnt from the Rock School book, Volume 1, and a Ralph Denyer book about guitars, which I don't know if you can still get now. This was in the bloody 80s. But you don't even need a book. You can just go on YouTube. I'm sure some YouTube guitarist will happily sell you their online course so you can learn. Yeah, and that'll be it. I'm off now because I've got to take the dog for a walk before I turn into a pumpkin. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. Did you have a good time? If you did have a good time, like button, subscribe if you have to. I don't care. The algorithm. Slave to the algorithm. Yeah, and we'll do this all again soon. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you can't be good, be safe, but more importantly, don't tell your mother. Night night.